want to get off the darkest ground.
Yes.
The gravity pulls you straight down.
Ass hats.
Earth from a bird's eye.
Time delay there.
You should grow
Hey,
feathers and
don't blame
see
her
this
for
too.
getting done later than all of us.
When you want to get
That's
off
too
the
late.
darkest ground.
Wait, that's too bright.
The gravity pulls you straight down.
I think my name's gonna be the only one up there by itself forever and ever and ever.
When you want to get off the darkest ground. The gravity pulls you straight down. Clear sky.
I love this song.
Alrighty, well, howdy y'all, and welcome back to yet another movie night. We are live and we are on time for movie night, and we're glad to see you all here. So let's get right into our intros. We do have a large panel with us tonight, which is always a good thing. But let's get started with Jenny Morgan.
Hi, how's everybody tonight?
Hi, how are you?
Oh, I'm just fine. Looking for a
Yay.
kick-ass night here at movie night.
Woohoo!
I am. We got new people here, I understand.
We have a counter
We
for asses
do.
to be kicked.
We do. We have all of the ass kicking counters. And we're glad to have you here with us again, Jenny. We also have with us tonight Glober Mom. Hello, Glober Mom.
Hello, long time.
Indeed. We're glad
Been a
to have you
while.
back with us. It's been a while, but we're glad
Yep.
to have you here.
Thank you.
How are your
It's because
how
of
are your
you, it's a
videos
globe,
going?
isn't it?
It's because it meets the globe. I'm Glober Mom.
Yes.
That's right. I made
It's
everything.
all your fault.
Oh dear.
Okay.
How are all your videos going, Glober Mom? I know you've
They're
got a couple
going really
coming out
well.
each week.
I put out a Karen compilation on Wednesday, and I've had two particularly nasty trolls in my chats that I've had to remove some my comments. I had to remove
Oh,
some
dear.
comments on. Warned them I was removing them first because I warned them before I will remove them, and they kept doing it. So
Of course.
yeah,
Doing what?
making inappropriate comments in chat.
Doing
in my
what
comment
trolls
section.
do best.
Yep. Yep.
Well,
So,
that's awesome, and we're
yeah,
glad
I've
to
been
have you
dealing with
here
that
with
on a
us,
daily
Glober
basis
Mom.
now. So,
We
yeah, it's fun.
we also have with us tonight Tornado. Hello, Tornado.
Yellow! Unfortunately, it seems like Mom NATO will not be showing up tonight,
Okay.
but I hope she gets to show up tomorrow night because her sleeping in on a night like this, disgraceful!
Yeah, those
How's
things
Grandma?
happen.
She's doing better, thankfully. All the stuff that they tested from the surgery that she had a week ago came up cancer free.
Well, that's great news.
Good.
Awesome. Well, we're super glad to have you with us, Tornado.
Glad to hear it. Glad to hear it.
We also have with us tonight Purple Rhymes with Orange.
No, it doesn't.
It does too.
Yes, it does. Nothing rhymes with purple and nothing rhymes with orange, so by default they rhyme with each other.
I like it.
Yeah, you can't argue with that logic.
Exactly.
That's where the name comes from. Sloth Girl always said that when we were gaming.
That's awesome. And
But
how are
my,
you?
my
how have you
channel
been?
has reached a landmark moment.
Yeah.
In my chat last night, I had my first official troll spouting conspiracy theories that had nothing to do with what we were talking about.
Nice.
Ooh.
What
You
were they
squashed them
saying?
like a bug.
That's always a good time.
Did they say anything about COVID?
Yes, most of it was about anti-masking.
Oh, jeez.
Mother.
He did build, in other words.
Well,
Yeah,
now
pretty
they
much.
might
Yeah.
be right.
Who knows?
Yeah, what
Well,
were they
we're
saying
glad
about
to.
all the
Go ahead,
what
Tornado.
was the anti-masking rhetoric that they were spewing?
This time.
I'm not going to bog it down here tonight with all that.
No.
Yeah, well, that's true.
He
but
didn't last long. One of the moderators canceled him out. Then he just left me a nasty comment.
Oh,
Of course.
geez, of course. All right. Well, we're glad to have you with us again tonight. And we also have RJ. What's up, RJ?
Oh, still busy with my work. I'm working on the second volume in the Paralogs of Fog series. So if you want an escape from 2020, 1872 is right here.
It's
And
right
then,
around
of
the
course-
corner.
And then, of course, we got our Evolution Slam Dunk, the perfect thing to make all of your creationist friends want to spit nails. And then for those of us, and if they can make it through the Evolution Slam Dunk, there's Jackson Wheat and our little tiny little book, The Rocks Were There Volume 1, which you can use just to hit them over the head with after
It looks
reading.
like
What's
a
that
quick
one
read.
I
Oh
like
yeah, it's
it.
just a little spiffy little thing. You know, it's a 900 pages. You know, just
Oh,
a
that's
light read.
all?
Just a quick
What's,
read. Just light
what's
reading.
that all about?
Yeah.
All available
an
at
afternoon.
Amazon.com. RJ and Jackson can use the royalties. So
I want them on Audible.
Yeah.
that's a future project. All those science books are really awkward to do, especially technically heavy ones, and that will require radical rewriting to make them audible friendly.
I have one
writing
book
and
that-
Sean narrating.
I have one book that requires charts and looks at various illustrations and stuff, and they published a PDF file that you could then download with the purchase of the book,
Oh,
and
Very
it actually
interesting.
works very well.
Yeah, I would agree. If it was on audiobook, I would definitely find it much easier to find the time for it.
Yeah. It is. It can be difficult sometimes to find some time to actually just sit down and pick up a book. But we're glad to have you here with us again, RJ. So
I
thank you
hear
for coming
Mom
back.
knocking around out there.
We also have with
RJ's
us tonight. Go ahead.
RJ's the official smart guy, isn't he? The
Yeah.
actual smart guy here.
Yeah, him, and usually
And-
TD Lane, but TD Lane is not here with us tonight.
Hey,
And then,
the
what
funny
about
thing,
me? I'm a smart
He isn't
guy.
even calling.
Yeah,
he
and a
isn't
smart
even
ass.
calling Alan. Art.
RJ just comes in here and show me how little I've accomplished with my life.
Oh, that's
When
like
did
Tom
you
Lehrer
lose
says.
control,
It's a disconcerting thing to realize that by the time Mozart was my age, he'd been dead for 5 years.
Exactly
geez.
what I was thinking of, yes.
well, we're doing good at stalling, but we haven't even gotten to the video yet. So
Oh, rats.
let's save our stalling for that, shall we? Let's head on over to Hillel before he manages to nod off for the evening.
Oh yeah, I could feel it coming.
Yeah, I assumed it was.
Oh, don't worry. I'll give plenty of warning just beforehand. And
Okay, good.
right after I fall asleep, I'll wait. I'll ding a little bell or something and say, "Hey guys, I'm asleep now."
Okay,
So you.
perfect.
If we
Absolutely.
hear snoring, we know you're asleep.
Oh yeah, of course.
If we hear snoring, we killed Hill.
Yes.
Just
It's
be,
a,
You
it's, it's,
bastard!
it's a proud tradition.
Yeah, we haven't had that for a while.
Very
Well,
proud tradition.
we're glad to have you with us, Hillel, even if it is just for a short while.
Thanks.
I fell asleep on Purple Stream last night.
Uh-oh. We also have with us tonight Shadow. Hello, Shadow.
Hi. I am so goddamn tired and ready for some stupid. Oh my god.
Always
wow.
got plenty
Come to the
stupid.
right
Don't worry
place.
about that.
Yeah.
I was in training for my new hires at my job through Zoom, so I spent 5 days answering the same questions over and over again.
I hated training
Oh,
employees.
Jeez.
I do
I
not miss
actually-
that.
I don't mind it, but what killed me was my usual break schedule, which is a break every 2 hours so I can get away from everything. My first break was 4 hours in, my second break at
Course.
6,
Mm-hmm.
my last break at 7, and I'm like, I'm gonna kill people.
I get it. I get it.
Jeez.
just
Well,
make sure you target idiots in skinny jeans.
Because I wear skinny jeans.
Yeah, but hey, I said idiots.
That's
in
true.
skinny jeans.
He did preface
Yeah.
it.
That's true, I'm a fool. I'm not an idiot.
Well, how's
Hey,
things
for
with
coming
your
on this stream, we're all fools.
how are things with your channel going, Shadow?
We're good. We passed 50 subs, which is fantastic. We're about 45 away from hitting the 100 mark and being able to get the
Awesome.
custom URL, all thanks to some hackers who took over our channel last week.
That's
Yeah,
right.
I don't know how that happened.
I don't know. It was kind of crazy.
I think it was a coordinated
Gotta watch
effort.
those hackers. They can be.
Yeah. We
Hold on,
They can take
everybody.
your channel down, man.
It's the funniest thing with YouTube because when I started on YouTube, got my account, that was in 2006 or 2007. It was a feature at that time, so I have a custom URL. Although
I remember that.
when I
I remember
enter
that.
although when I enter it and click enter, I could get to it, but it says something weird in the address bar. But hey, it still works.
Yeah. Well, we're glad to
But,
have you with us, Shadow, and definitely glad that your channel is growing. Game of Fools is awesome. It's a lot of fun every Saturday. They play some fun games and have some good laughs. So definitely check that out as well.
Mom Nito's tired.
Uh-oh. Well, she has the right to be.
Yeah.
And
Being a parent is tiring anyway.
we also have with us tonight Bo. Hello, Bo.
Hello. Welcome
Hello.
from the real side of the world.
It's a real side.
there's some-
Plus minus CET or UTC, plus minus 3 hours within UTC. Yeah, that kind
Hey,
of.
Bo,
world.
I had a question I wanted to ask you.
Uh-oh.
I was gone.
Do you ever diddly?
You're not asking about his
that
diddly
would
or
be,
his squat.
That would be more of a British thing, I think. Or
More
what's his
importantly,
name?
does he diddly squat?
You mean diddle something while squatting?
Yeah,
That
are
sounds
you-
like a toilet meme.
Are you Bo diddly?
Or diddly doodly ding dong.
Well, I'm certainly not Bojangles.
No, I don't think
Oh
he
And I'm
knows
not-
the
goodness.
reference.
There are not
I'm
enough
not-
words
hey,
for me to
I am
be-
not Homer Simpson's neighbor. And if it's not that you're referencing, I
that's
have no idea what you're
Flanders.
talking about.
Oh,
Yes.
Flanders, yeah.
Flanders.
But he has
Sexy
he
Flanders.
uses that language though.
all right. Well, last but not
Okalino?
least, we're glad to have you with us again tonight, Bo. And last but not least,
No, you're not.
for the regular panel members, for our regular panel members, we have Chris Kelling.
Good evening, and I was just thinking. Sometimes I wish the audience could see the pre-show because RJ and I were doing quotes from Tom Lear and just having a grand old time with that. And that was probably some of the most fun I had on a pre-show. But I'm also one of the fools on Game of Fools. And I promised Shadow I was going to edit something together to put in there for the channel description box. And I'm sorry, Shadow. It's taking me it took me over 2 days to log the first show. I have 12 of them to go through to pick out the parts. So I'm still logging. Until
No
I get the
problem.
logs done, I'll get the edits done.
Take
So-
your time.
Well, we're glad to have you with us again, Chris. It's always nice to have you here.
I'm
And
drilling through dirt.
I'm sorry to hear that.
Oh, can we play press the button?
Press the button.
Oh,
now
God.
that I have a computer that works.
That's not fair though. I
That's-
mean,
is
the
that-
ladies
is that
here
keyword
have
for
one more
punching the
button than we
cobra?
do, than the guys do. So not fair.
All
Oh,
right.
no.
Well, everybody, let's say hello to our newest panel member for the evening. And I'm going to probably butcher your name. So maybe you could tell us what you'd like to be referred to as so I don't butcher it.
Okay, my name is Aunt Jer, and
I would have butchered it.
you would have. I've only watched the show a few times, and I've noticed that there's a lot of really smart people on here about science and stuff.
Oh, sorry. I thought
About
you meant
science.
me.
Yeah, and I don't know that much about science, so
Hey, me either.
think of it like, You know those aerobics videos that have the girl in the back that's like doing the wimpy version?
That's
for-
me.
That's me.
I know
for
exactly what you're
the
talking
science.
about. Yeah.
That's me. Mhm.
Yeah.
Yes,
That'll
we
be me for today.
You don't need to know a lot
You're
about
not
science.
alone.
All you need to do is be able to
That's-
recognize that the person who's spouting the science is not really spouting science. So.
Exactly.
and still, being in the back of an aerobics class like that, as you put it, that's a very important place, because at that point you have a very steep learning curve. So the time you spend there is very important, because you learn a lot per minute, so to speak. That would be the same here, I guess. I mean,
Very
all the
true.
smart people in here, not me, by the way, they only learn
Not tooting your own horn
just
anywhere.
a little bit per minute compared to someone like you and me. So hey, I guess.
That's why
Talking
we
to
have.
a
That's why we have
Talking to
RJ
a
for
Christian
credibility.
debunks younger creations.
All right. Well, I think we have stalled long enough. The only other thing I do want to mention while we still have everybody here and slightly not completely drunk is on September 18th. It's a Friday at 5 p.m. We are doing the 1 year later Remembering Sci-Strike live stream. That's going to be at 5 p.m. Eastern, and the link for that is in the live chat. And I do want to put out an invitation to anybody that does want to come on and say some words about Sci, or your memories with him. It's open to everybody. There's no right or wrong answers or anything. So just reach out to me. You can DM me on
Careful.
Twitter. You can DM me on Discord.
Discord.
Jeez, if I could think of the name of that place. Or you can shoot me an email. It's just scistrikling@scistrikling.net. The link for the actual stream is in the chat, so go ahead and set your reminders. I know it's a little bit early. It's 2 weeks in advance, but I do want to make sure everybody has time to plan. So just keep that in mind. And, I'll definitely put out reminders throughout the week. And I think that's about it before we get started. So give me 1 second here to get the wheel up.
Oh,
And
By the way, we
yes.
have 38 people watching. We only have 14 thumbs up. How about
Uh-oh.
we
Where'd
get
all our
those
thumbs
up?
go? I don't want to know where you're putting your
Hang
thumbs
on.
now,
Okay,
but
you got
go
one
ahead
more
and
for
put them
me
in
now.
the
I haven't
chat.
done it yet, but there you go.
All
I
right.
have a little
Come on,
theory
guys,
about that.
change
They
this to
know
this.
what they're about to see.
All
Take a
right.
break from
That's why
punching
we
the
wanted
cobra.
to do it now.
All right. So
Everybody
we
like
do
a
have
mad
our.
carpenter hit the thumb.
Oh
Ooh,
my
yeah.
God! I'm sorry I put that on Discord.
Hey, where's
I just saw the
Jenny's
butterfly
suggestion?
once, but hey, okay.
Huh?
All right. So we have our wheel up. We also don't have Sean with us tonight. If anybody's noticed, he's still he's got to get up early for work again tomorrow.
That's
so
fine.
we
That's
miss
fine. I
Sean,
get
but
Yeah.
but he'll survive.
He's letting
Um,
adulting get in the way of this.
I know, right? What the heck? How dare he?
But adulting is important sometimes, so
I
give him a
guess.
pass. Yeah.
All right, so we have our wheel tonight. Woohoo! We have
Wait a minute, you didn't put my offering in there.
I didn't.
Yeah, that's disappointing, because it was
So-
kind of, raunchy.
Yeah,
think
I'm
you
not
guys
sure how
pulled
well
out
that
there.
would have gone over. I mean, we pushed the line a bit on the Valentine's Day stream. I'm not
Well, that
sure.
wasn't raunchy.
Hey,
It was
Careful
It's a
with the
legitimate-
wording there.
it was a legitimate scientific I don't want to say expose.
I mean, I feel like we also pushed the level when we did the whole man gravy smoothies.
I don't want to know. I don't want to know.
Fuck you!
well, what's that?
To,
What's the chat?
Oh, okay. I know.
our
I know.
news-
which
Oh,
one. Never
love
mind.
to hear those
I know what
sounds.
you're talking
Oh,
about.
dear.
Never mind.
Yeah. To our newest panel member, I'd like to post this warning here. Be careful of your phrasing, because sometimes, who was it that used the word "push it"? A couple of seconds ago. Yeah, that's one of the dangerous ones, because
Yeah.
all I could think of was push it.
Oh my god.
And now
All
we
right.
got a copyright strike. Thank you.
That
That's a
was
flashback
good.
from the 90s.
Well, let's take a look at the videos on our wheel. So tonight we
That was
have
good.
our 4 categories on the wheel are truth with an F. We have flights we have lasers, and we have butterflies.
Lasers.
Oh no!
Do the
And-
lasers go
and-
pew pew pew?
There's
and
something
they
wrong
could
with
have
that
had-
And they
laser.
missed or did they hit?
But
And they
no,
could
but
have
no
had-
laser butterflies.
And they
Oh,
could have
well,
had a
that'd be
wonderful
pretty.
video on pelvic floor exercises and bringing yourself to orgasm just with your pelvic floor
With your
muscles.
Kegel muscles? Oh,
Yeah,
my
I'm gonna have to preview that one before that goes on the
Oh,
wheel.
Okay.
no way.
Yeah,
No
I'll
way.
take a
just
look.
Call it preview.
Yeah.
Sure.
There are a lot of men that are gonna be like, "What the hell?"
Yeah.
I found
Let's
it to
put
be
it this
very
way.
useful.
I know what the lasers are, or who the lasers is from, and they're in a van down by the river. So
Oh,
Yeah.
no.
Not
Oh,
the
no.
marble.
All right. Well, let's
No.
see. We have tonight we have the Flat
No,
Earth
that's not it.
flight
Oh, wait a
route
minute.
map with third grade maths from Phuket Word.
Oh, dear God.
No, no,
Okay.
no,
Fuck
no. Get it
with.
right. Yeah, exactly.
We
You have to
also
get it right.
have
It's fuck
Flat Earth lasers, lunatics, and liars from D Marble.
Yeah.
Also
We-
known as these
and
nuts.
We
That's
have
all in one. Right.
we have gravity and the butterfly on our flat Earth by our favorite
no.
CC.
Oh, dear God. Okay.
And then last but not least, we have Joshua Michael destroys the theory of gravity and
Yes,
possibly
sir, he
Harry
does.
Potter.
Hey,
Oh, the
I'm going to
ridiculous
raise
one.
my
Oh,
hand.
God.
but hey, honestly, let's be fair here. At least we're not talking, I hope, Peter and Pete level stupidity.
Oh,
And
I
I
can,
repeat,
Mm.
I hope.
I'm
hope
pretty sure. I mean,
it's a
I'm,
whole different branch.
my whole end game is by the end of the next like couple weeks or so is to have you all begging for Claudia again. That way,
Oh, no, no.
I
no,
can bring her
no.
back,
No,
and it'll
no,
be like a
no,
no,
relief.
yeah.
Can we have
I'm
the
gonna have words with Sean in the morning, I think.
Can we have the ladies that were talking for the trees back?
That's true.
Yeah.
If you want to hear that kind of stuff, come up here and watch the news at noon. The woman who does the news name is Andrea Arbers.
Oh dear. All right.
Jessica,
Well,
has
let
Claudia
us
given you
let us
kickbacks to show her videos.
yeah, let us spin our wheel here. Tornado, would you do us the honors?
Wheel of misfortune, turn, turn, turn. Show us the stupid that we should burn. Spin it.
Brace yourselves.
It's gonna be stupid no matter what.
Yes.
Come on, let's see something good.
All right, it is JM
Oh, dear
Truth.
God. No. No.
Oh dear.
Okay, I think you might get your wish on this one. Justice might be the one that
Yeah.
pushes us over back to Claudia.
Yeah, I think so. I think this might do it. So give me a second here to get that movie queued up, and then we will get started.
JM is his own kind of stupid. Oh,
JM
And by
is
the way,
special.
To all the new panel members and to the audience members, we're sorry.
No, we're
no,
not.
we're very
No,
sorry.
no, we're not. You showed up voluntarily.
And you're still here.
Exactly.
JM's IQ is 1.00 times 10 to the negative 17.
Oh, jeez.
Oh God, no more math. I just took a math test.
Oh,
Please no.
jeez. All right, give me
Oh,
one
my
second here. I'm
God.
just getting
Well,
this
let's see
straightened
here.
out.
1 and 1 gives me how many?
Too many.
Yeah, but is that
Too
that
many
triangle makes
blurfers.
it in
Yeah.
that? No, never mind.
All right.
1 and 1 gives you 11.
Oh, that's right. I forgot. Thank
Vespa,
you.
Side Strickling doesn't hate you. I'm sorry.
I love
just
you
purple
with
dust.
all of the hate possible, Vesta.
No, everyone. One
Or I
plus
hate you
one
with all
gives
of the
10.
love possible. I'm not sure.
Yeah, it
Purple,
goes either
that's-
way.
Purple that's not pronounced 11, it's pronounced 11D.
11D. That's right.
11,
Correct.
Okay.
All right. It looks like we got our movie all set here.
FBI warning.
Oh, yes.
Yeah.
This is JM we were
Mhm.
talking about here. He's,
Federal
Yeah.
law allows citizens to reproduce, distribute, etc., etc.
Mhm.
Yeah,
et
the
cetera.
quote cinematographer unquote.
Bum, bum, bum.
All right. Well, can I tell you that
Quote,
we may not make it
sniper
through this whole movie, or we might have to skip out some parts because this is a
Yay.
21-minute
Oh, yay.
movie.
Oh,
Oh, God.
Lord. Yeah.
This is called fair use and is allowed for purposes of criticism, which is what we're doing.
Indeed.
And
So
also,
Not as
they
much
can be like
criticism.
fast forwarded to, or jump ahead if
Yes.
worse comes to
Yes,
worse.
we
you know,
can- we
because if they're
can.
really boring.
all right, well, let's get started. Actually, it would help if I
Oh,
turn the
the threats
volume up.
begin.
Oh yes.
All right.
All right, here we go.
Uspado from the dock.
Okay, I'm ready for the science.
Wait a long time then.
Remember, he has an online degree from both Evergreen University
The truth.
And Full Sail, too.
and Yale University.
So this guy's double dumb, huh?
Yep.
Drink.
I like genuinely want to turn
Let it
him
go,
into
Tornado.
Lions.
No,
he
no,
hasn't
no.
said anything yet.
Shalom, my friend.
Oh,
dear.
God.
Yes,
It's
I am
this one.
sitting
Oh,
in
dear
a
God.
graduation cap and gown. Today I thought I'd have some fun.
For fuck's sake.
I'm going to get involved as a graduate on this paradigm of the flat Earth, round Earth, and put myself out
He
in front of you.
He
Big
said
word.
He said
Say-
paradigm.
I'm so scared.
Did I have a drink call in there? I think we have Chris Kelling with the hand up first.
Yeah, I want to put in a claim of stolen valor.
Yeah.
I don't think that's a true. I don't think he earned that cap and gown.
Could you clarify that you're talking about non-military stolen valor?
Yes.
Yes.
Well,
Thank you.
that too. I mean, he does claim that he was a medic in the field in the army.
His
but
his service records are not to be discussed. They've all been legitimized,
okay.
and that's a nasty myth that's been going around our side of the community for a long time, and it really has to stop.
But I mean,
Yeah. I mean, he
I didn't bring
hasn't
that
done
up.
all the stuff that he has claimed, but he does have a legit
Yeah, he's been in.
DD214, as it
Right.
says.
He has
Yes.
been in.
Yeah.
I
But
mean,
yeah.
I was just making a joke about it.
He's
about
just
this
exaggerated
cap
what
and
he's
gown. I'm
done.
sorry.
Yeah.
That's
Oh,
fine.
yeah. You could say, yeah, that's putting it lightly.
It does
Yeah.
look like something from a costume
Ow.
store, though, doesn't it?
It does.
I was
Yeah, I mean,
actually,
yeah.
yeah,
That
that's.
thing-
I
I mean, the hat is dangerously close to looking like a fez worn by those idiot sovereign citizens that don't want to call themselves sovereign
Right.
citizens, but
Moors.
Moors living in America, which is Morocco, but although it's in America and not Africa, it's a weird thing.
You saw that one from Radical, huh?
Yeah.
Yes.
Hold on.
The one that, or was that Creaky? I can't remember. I was laughing my head off too much.
I've been both.
Well, we also have Shadow with the hand up.
Yes.
Yeah, I wanted to point out, I'm not 100% sure, but I've seen this costume before. It's a $30 Beer University costume.
Nice.
And more importantly, I would like to know what's on that tassel and why he doesn't have it on full display and why the cap is not the right size for an actual graduate cap, especially from a university.
Yeah.
And so he's claiming to be a graduate of the university teaching that the earth is flat.
Yeah.
Is that what he's claiming?
Yep.
Oh God.
Yeah, basically speaking,
Yeah.
to put it in a few words, he's pulling it out of his ass
Exactly.
with an accent. So yeah, dumbass.
Well, we also have Tornado with the hand up.
I'm going to make a comment on his intro. This intro can get you struck.
Yeah, he's changed it a bit. It's all you know, it's JM
You mean the animation thing?
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, the pomp and circumstance.
No.
I think
Yeah,
that's
I think
what
he's
I-
talking about the other
Talking
one.
the Lionsgate thing.
Oh,
Yeah,
That
he
can get
didn't. He didn't change the logo enough by just changing the words. That's actually not enough to avoid a copyright strike
Right.
because that's their actual logo,
Right.
and he can
Well,
be
it is a gray
demonetized.
area, but yeah,
Yeah.
I can see
is.
how that would be annoying. But yeah,
Yeah,
it's
but
a
you
gray
don't
area.
mess with Disney.
Yeah, they're
No.
they're interesting
You-
folk
if
over
you-
there.
Yeah, if you as much as breathe in their direction and you have a big enough audience, they will have your ass served on a platter.
Oh
Pretty
yeah,
much.
for sure.
Yeah, Mickey is a bitch.
As you properly give them credit, they will allow it if you properly cite your sources. I discovered this recently.
Now, of course, Shadow, does this mean that using a brief clip from The Lion King would, for a little bit of comedy, would be good?
It would be fine as long as it's properly cited.
I have seen plenty of YouTube videos of somewhat large YouTubers literally using the Lion King movie for several clips without getting, well, as far as I know, without getting struck. Certainly without getting it pulled.
Well, the reason I
Although
was
I
using
haven't-
the Lion King thing, it's just you see the sun rising and then you hear a loud whang with my character appearing with a bump on his head saying, you know what, just roll the intro. Just roll the intro.
All right. Well, last but not least, let's go on to RJ with his hand up.
Yeah. Everyone was talking about his University of In Your Dreams costume, but I was thinking more about the kind of Pier 1 clearance sale decor. The cute little
that screen in the back.
the screen, which I think
Yeah.
is put up to conceal his favorite Xbox setup there in the basement.
Yeah, it does look like a TV in the background, doesn't it?
Yeah.
And
Pier
then, of
1
course,
going out
we've
of
got that
business sale,
wonderful
actually.
couch that when the bong salesman down the block decided to upgrade their media room, this was out on the driveway, so he got that really cheap.
I thought the screen was hiding the fact that he's doing this all from his parents' bedroom or
Well,
basement or
that's a
something.
less charitable alternative, but I will leave that
Yeah.
hypothesis for people to ponder.
And notice that little flat Earth map in the
Yeah,
left
isn't
top
that
corner there.
precious?
Yeah.
No, that's actually, is that distorted? Is that actually on the wall?
That might be one of those.
Yeah.
That's on the wall.
Yeah.
Yeah, he keeps it there as a souvenir. He goes in and I think he probably brings little candles and incense and burns to it and prays to it every day. Please be flat. Please
Meditates
be
in
flat.
front of it.
I hope he's at least tasteful enough that he wraps the Scotch tape he uses to hang that around in a circle and puts it on the back instead of like across the edges and stuff.
It looks a lot nicer.
That's so
professional
happy.
behavior here. You really are putting the standard high there.
Well, you know, if you're gonna hang it, you got to hang it right.
Exactly.
That's what I've always been told.
Oh yeah, aren't you right or left?
But do you
Alright.
hang to the left or the right? Now that's the question.
It depends on the day of the week.
Is it different if you're in Australia versus America?
Yeah,
Does
yeah,
it-
we need to look into this. There's some studies that need to be done.
Exactly.
Boxers or briefs.
All right. Well, let us.
Oh boy,
let's,
there's a joke in there.
let's continue on so we can get through a
Prefer to
little
have the
bit more
boxer
of
in the
this.
brief, but anyway.
Let's
Poor
see if we can.
dog.
Let's
That's
see if we can
abuse.
make it through a few more minutes of this.
Oh.
Yeah. See,
We didn't
you
stall long
caught on
enough?
to our delaying
No.
tactics again, haven't
Nope, you failed. Sorry.
Damn it.
you?
Solarium.
All right, here we go.
Okay.
Oops.
Because many people haven't stood up and said much about where they stand in all of this. But today, I'm going to give a very special block of instruction. And I'm going to destroy gravity. Because gravity, in fact, doesn't exist. Despite what Neil deGrasse Tyson says, despite what Mirtama81 says and others,
Despite what Isaac
but I would
Hayes
have you
said.
know that gravity is
81 you-
ridiculous!
Ridiculous.
So today, we are going to look at gravity. Because it is ridiculous!
Can't look at gravity.
And I'm going to prove how
Be seen.
ridiculous it is. I may also destroy Harry Potter in the process. That is a...
Magnificent. The cell
I
phone
think
is
I-
absolutely magnificent.
I think I heard
Damn.
Shadow first, but Hillel has the hand up, so you guys can duke it out.
Fight.
No, go ahead,
I
Hillel.
don't-
You
I don't
had
know,
your
I-
hand up.
My gentleman tendencies are overcoming me.
Uh-oh. We'll go with a Hillel so that we can catch him before he falls asleep.
Oh, that's too kind of you. Who is he doing this for? because
Good
he's
question.
he's all dressed up and such, and he's got graduation music
Himself.
playing. But he's not.
He's
It's not like
comforting
he's talking
himself.
to. Like, why? What is this whole? Is this some sort of LARPing, which I'm not familiar with?
Yes.
Like, why does he have a wand? And I'm just very confused. What
As
he's.
we all know, serious
Wand.
scientific works are done as an 8-year-old.
I don't know. I'm just not sure what the. I'm just not sure what he's going for in terms of, like, the role playing part.
We're not either. We're not either.
No, I can explain Hillel. I understand this guy.
Oh.
He's a highly
Right, geez.
educated person who holds a master's of science degree from a prestigious university, and he
Undoubtedly.
needs the props to get us to understand that, to keep that in our forebrains at all times. And his shaking of the stick and on every ridiculous, that's a style of neural and linguistic programming that he employs.
Yeah.
So in the future, all he'll have to
that's
do
your
is shake a
story, and you're
stick,
going to stick with it.
and he'll know that whatever he's talking about is ridiculous.
Ridiculous.
Well, we did have a
Was it-
$5 super chat from Zmore42 who says, "I think this might be satire."
If only.
Yeah,
No,
I'm-
not from him.
I'm
that a
not
plug?
sure.
You're new to JM Truth, aren't you? This guy's serious.
Yeah, it's
God,
really
if
hard to tell
only.
coming from him what's satire and what's actually, he thinks is legit.
I'm just like,
Yeah.
like whoever, if anyone ever feels the need to dress up to make some sort of point, their point itself must be pretty weak.
Yeah, I agree with that. Hello.
Tell that to Logic.
Point taken.
Yeah.
Tell that.
Oh, he's
to
not dressing up to make a point. He's dressing up because that's just what he looks like.
Yeah. We also had Shadow.
Yes. Okay, I'm gonna go with the obvious, which is Professor Dumbass Dork over here. He's saying ridiculous wrong. 2, that's not a wand, that's a drumstick with painter's tape on it. And also, how can you disprove Harry Potter when the majority of the population is very aware it's all fiction? And what does that have to do with gravity when they literally use magic to defy gravity? Therefore, wouldn't he want to prove Harry Potter?
He majored in red herrings at his university.
Yeah.
I kind of want to be like, did you read the books? Do you know what they were? Or did you just kind of assume they were a round earth thing because it was written by somebody who is a piece of shit,
knows reality,
but also at least got a brain?
Yeah.
Well, Shadow, the problem here is that you're using logic and, dare I even say it, normal common sense, which this dingbat does not possess the ability to, he's a moron. I mean, he doesn't get that stuff,
Yeah.
It's just,
Very,
he's just.
very true.
Excuse me. I have a few. I have a 6-word song that actually helps me out here. You're a fucktard, aren't you, Josh?
Yeah, he's definitely something special, that's for sure.
It's called the Short Bus.
Special.
Yeah.
I'm special.
All right.
I'm
Well,
sorry to use that because
Chris
Simpsons
Kelling, you
reference.
had your hand up?
Yeah. One of the things I have studied with JM is he has always claimed to be a filmmaker. And for being a professional filmmaker, he hasn't figured out how to take the auto level off when he's recording audio. Because he just keeps fading out, fading in, fading out.
Not forgetting the abysmal amount of light that he's using to record this.
Agreed
The
with
light
that.
balance is messed up. The light is shining into his glasses, which is also messed up, and it's easy to fix. Jeez.
But far as this magic wand, I think we all know where it's going. I am not going to preempt the drinks.
Ooh, where does he put it?
Up his ass.
Yeah, but not
Oh,
long
tornado.
enough up there.
Don't say that kind of thing. Gosh.
Yes.
James Mercer.
Oh, yeah.
We're very wholesome here, you know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sure.
Full family entertainment right here.
Exactly. We also had Glover Mom with the hand up.
Looking at, I think this was done last year, and I do remember in May of last year, FTF did that interview with George Musser
Yep.
regarding
Mhm.
Einstein
Where it's
breaking the
going.
wand. And I believe JM is using that on top of and putting Harry Potter into it as well to talk about gravity.
Interesting.
In other
No.
words, he's just being a douche.
Yeah.
Just being a douche? He
No,
is
douche.
a douche.
No, don't call him a douche. Douches
Oh,
are
that's
very
true.
useful.
Douches are very, yes,
That's
they are very
true.
useful. You're right.
Yeah.
You're right.
Yeah, I mean, I have a douche.
That's
I
true.
mean, I
Bo,
would
we
rather
really
have
don't want to hear
a
about
tub.
that. No, not,
I'd rather have a
please.
tub, but I have a douche. Hey, that's what
If he was
it's
gonna
called,
be a-
not in Danish, but still, that's where I take a shower. So,
Well, if he was going to be a douche, he'd have the Harry Potter glasses on as well.
Okay, how about he's just derping? How about that?
All right, that
Okay,
works.
no, that's too close to the professor. Sorry, to the
okay.
commander.
Dang it.
To a
Okay, I'll have
certain
to think of one for
four-legged
him.
commander.
Okay.
Yeah, Commander Dirt.
That's right.
Could,
Okay.
could we move
I'll
on
have to
and
think
actually
of
hear him
something.
say
I
something?
don't know. Probably not.
More
RJ.
stupid.
Yeah. I'm just thinking back all the great moments in science when Newton or Laplace or Einstein would dress up in their basement and deliver their science lecture to the kids. That all great scientific discoveries have been built in this way rather than doing that silly mathematics and earning a reputation by actual explanation and accomplishment. But maybe we'll get lots and lots of graphs and charts after
Yeah.
he
Work.
Yeah.
You
Well,
mean Ross Perot?
well, he spent his budget on wrapping up the drumstick there.
Oh dear. All right. Tornado, you still had your hand up?
Well, yeah, because this man, let me rephrase that. This man-child of a dude is going, ridiculous, ridiculous, ridiculous. Like,
Have a
and all
Rousseau,
that
not
sort
have a
of-
Rousseau.
and all his bull BS about how he's going to disprove gravity and whatnot. Dude, if you can do that, then present your Nobel Prize or shut the fuck up.
All right. Well, let us get back to it and see what else he has to say, shall we?
Aww.
We
Okay.
shall. Here we go.
Unfortunate casualty of the stupidity of gravity. Because gravity is ridiculous. So, with that having been said, let us take a look at gravity. Or should I say, because gravity is ridiculous.
That was
Okay,
a bad
folks.
cut.
So, first, we're going to take a look at
Quick pause.
how do
Yeah. How
I
about
just-
that cinematography magic there?
Well, I was gonna say, so he
Morphing.
went from trying to be Professor Dumbledore, or in his case,
No,
dumbass
Professor
dork,
Double Dork.
Yeah.
Professor Double
Dumbledore.
Dork.
to Professor with trademark renounced on the back of his head.
Yeah. Oh dear.
Professor with trademark renounce?
I did. The alcohol is involved here. My words are not great.
That's usually
Words
what happens
good,
on
not
the show.
used.
Everybody got what I meant.
Of course.
You're already ahead of the guy on the video.
Bo, you had your hand up?
Yep. Just wanting to add to what Tornado was saying, kind of. If you want to go the scientific route, there is no disproving anything. There is the matter of providing a better theory or, a better explanation of what we see in nature. So good luck with that so-called disproving of gravity. Not going to happen, but yeah.
Nope.
All right. Well, shall we
He's a
continue
twat
on?
waffle.
See what else he has
Yeah.
to say.
I like that word.
Here we go.
We establish things. First, it's through scientific method. And I hear all kinds of people talking about all kinds of things about the scientific method. There is only one scientific method, and this is how you
Wrong.
test to see if something is in fact true using the scientific method. And I'm
Wrong.
going to give you two different definitions, which are pretty much the same, but just to have the continuity, I'm going to
You don't know
with
what
two.
continuity is, you dumbass.
So the first one is science, the intellectual and practical activity encompassing the systematic study of the structure and behavior of the physical and natural world through observation and what? Experiment. Okay? So you must be able to do an experiment to prove something is in fact true or false.
Wrong.
Drink.
Science.
Or drink, yeah, sure.
I'm gonna go with drink because
Yeah.
okay,
Yeah.
so even saying that what he just said was true, let's just make believe right now.
I need more beer.
Yeah,
A
I can do
whole lot of beer.
I'm gonna even turn on my camera so I can show this experiment. So according to science and doing an experiment, if I throw something up, it's gonna come down due to gravity. Oh my god, gravity works.
Is that a Deadpool plushie?
Yes,
Of
it
course
is.
it is.
Oh, sweet.
Wow.
Have you
Yeah,
not
but what's your
seen
independent variable?
The gift that
What's your
she
independent
used
variable?
on the first two Game
The
of
fa-
Fools?
I'm using the variable of I threw it up with the velocity of whatever my hands can manage without hitting something or getting it stuck.
Yeah.
So
But that's just density. It's more
Yeah.
dense than the air below it. So
exactly. So it's going to be drawn down to the next dense thing.
Yeah. They like to call gravity density, and they don't.
Density and buoyancy. Yeah.
Yeah.
So if you throw something up
stupid.
in the air and it hits his head first, does that explain that his head is denser object than the Earth?
Yeah, I was
Probably.
thinking if it's all about density, then flat earthers should repel everything.
Yeah. Exactly.
But again, that's only saying that what he's saying is true.
Right.
Even then, it doesn't prove anything. It's a theory. That's why it's the theory of gravity. And gravitational law is based on that theory.
Right.
Usually.
Hold on. I have to correct you. It's not usually used as just a theory. It is a theory, as in a well-substantiated explanation of some aspect of the natural world, based on a body of facts which have been repeatedly confirmed through observation and experiment.
There we
Aha.
go.
see what gets me when they use the word theory as it's just a theory. Well, what about music theory? Does
Right.
music exist? Is it provable? You know,
Disease
but
theory.
theory is the method that in the study of how music is made.
But they think of theory as the dictionary version of theory.
Right.
You know,
Which
the
is,
everyday
again,
use of the word.
The everyday
yeah.
use. Yeah, some
Yeah.
of the everyday use of theory. They don't think of it in scientific terms.
And then
Yes.
that's like evolution is just the theory of evolution is just that, a theory. It's
Yeah.
never been proven.
Well, we also had Bo with the hand up. Let's head on over to Bo.
Yeah.
I'm
This
sorry.
is, of course, not a jab at what any of you lovely people have said just now, but to put it in no uncertain terms, and I cannot stress this enough, there is only one, count them, one branch of science that deals with proving shit. That is mathematics.
Right.
You cannot disregarding magic. Disregarding magic. Disregarding mathematics. Science does not prove shit or fecal matter. It does not. The way that the scientific method works is that you go, I wonder how that works. Then you work out, this could be the way it works. Then you set up a test to find out if it is, if your hypothesis, holds water. And then you try to find out, well, wait a minute, is this falsifiable? Then you try and disprove your hypothesis. Disprove, not prove, but disprove.
Well, we all know that.
I'm sorry, the blood pressure and stuff. It's just so
all right.
You're as bad as tornadoes sometimes.
I'm just so freaking sick and tired of dumbasses like this saying, remember, science proof. No.
Well, we also do have Tornado with the hand up.
Yeah, again, I'm so sick of them doing that. It's just a theory. It's never been proven. I'm so sick of that
It'd
bullshit.
be more entertaining if they said it that way.
I find this offensive to Elmer Fudd.
Yeah.
I have a
cheating
theory
Newtons.
that all flat earthers who are male have a prostate gland. Let's check.
Yeah.
And how are you going to check? By shoving your foot up their ass?
Well,
We can start with the stick.
Yeah.
with a red hot 10-foot
With his
rod.
ridiculous wand. RJ, you had your hand up?
Yes, I did indeed. First of all, I imagine he pulled this description science is the concerted stuff from a dictionary or somewhere. It's a perfectly legitimate description of the scientific method. Fine and dandy.
And everything
but
is
the thing
spelled
is
correctly.
that virtually everything we know
Copy and paste.
about gravitation is based on observation and experimentation. It's the historian in me that knows how that was all worked out from Newton and Laplace and Einstein. It all involves stuff. And what we're going to be wondering about is the pesky little detail that only was discovered because of experimentation, that gravity is an acceleration. So at the sea level, a terrestrial gravitation is 10 meters per second, 32 feet per second. And so that is a fact which needs to be accounted for in whatever his little theory is. Now, you want to test the gravitation theory of Newton? Well, you can do it really good with cannonballs and ballistics and all of that, which matches Newton to T. And if you take into account the fact that relativistic effects don't come into play, and you had a really big cannonball that you fired at really big speeds next to massive objects, that would also be physically observable and describable. So we're gonna let's put up our little counter here to see how long through this 20 minutes we're going to go before he ever mentions that gravity is an acceleration.
Yeah, I think it might be a while.
Yeah, I'm not. Breath holding is not recommended.
Yeah, no.
You'll just pass out and breathe again. You know.
RJ, what determines the when you drop something that its terminal velocity?
Oh, that occurs in an atmosphere. When it is displacing a volume of air equivalent to its own mass, it stops accelerating. That's why parachutes work. And that's why when a parachutist will move faster when they don't have the parachute open, and as soon as they do, that's increasing the surface area, therefore altering the amount of volume of air that it's displacing, which now is greater than their own mass, and therefore slows them down until they hit the of equalization point. It's ironically the same principle behind why boats float in water. It's displacing volumes of mass.
I can
It is
confirm.
about
I have
about
tested
buoyancy.
that specific theory numerous times. And I'm very, very happy that it does work. To put it lightly.
Yeah.
Now, whereas if you were to drop somebody out of a window in an extremely large vacuum chamber, they would not reach a terminal velocity until they hit splat the ground, because there would be no change. They would continue accelerating until they hit the ground. The only reason why you have that in an atmosphere is because it's displacement. That was part of the reason why it took so long, and also because objects fall relatively quickly for human observation. Sorry about this science alert there. That's why it was extremely difficult to slow the process down enough to be able to see how objects actually fell. And that's why it waited all the way down to Galileo, experimenter Galileo, who was the first person, as far as we know, whoever could slow the thing down with rolling balls down inclines and measuring with his damn pulse to determine that objects sped up as they fell, that they rolled faster and faster the longer the incline was. And that meant that it was an acceleration. Newton, then with his pesky little mathematics crap, merged all the stuff they had discovered of planetary motions with terrestrial motion and realized it was all the same phenomenon. And that's when you get the FMA and all the other cute little things that became part of his general theories of motion, which, of course, is as far
Laws
removed
of
from this
motion,
twerp.
there's a difference.
Hmm?
Laws of motion, RJ. Laws of motion.
Well, whatever. Let's not be anal retentive like our video guy.
Yeah. Well, we also did have a $2 super chat from Cajun Crustacean who says, "Can we add 42 drinks on general principle?" I don't think I'd like to kill the panel yet, so I don't know that we'll add 42
I don't think
drinks.
alcohol poisoning is not a good thing.
Yeah,
Drink to that.
we have to stretch out the drink count so that we can keep our panel in one piece.
But it's the best type of poison.
Well, we are ripping along at 4.
We are, we're definitely getting there.
Yeah, that's right.
We used to, on some of those old videos, we'd rip through 15 by this time.
How many minutes till we've been into this video, Si?
3, I think.
4 drink calls? Yeah, that's pretty on par right now.
This is going to be
And so are we using the Bacardi contraction effect or the
Oh, jeez.
or the Jim Beam contraction
this
formula?
is a demonstration of the Smirnoff ratio.
There we go. Oh yeah, that's the best. Yes, that's the most
Maybe
precise
the
one.
moonshine effect too.
Well, let's get over to Chris Kellen with his hand up.
Okay, well, first of all, RJ is always complaining, where's the science? He brought the science, so,
There you
blame
go.
him.
I'm sorry.
But the
my
other thing I
fault.
wanted to point out is the scientific method. A prime example of the scientific method would be Mr. Sensible's MAGE project.
Mm-hmm.
And even though it was not successful due to some manufacturing defects on the balloon, he still got data out of it. He went through and he described what went wrong, what data was available, what the data showed, and what they're doing to improve on MAGE 2, which I am really excited to hear about when he gets that done. Now you take the other side. Let's take Bob Nodal when he had the laser gyroscope, and he said, "Oh well, if we have 15 degree drift per hour, then we have rotation of the Earth. We had 15-degree drift per hour." What did he say? "Oh no, that's the energies from the heavens."
Yeah.
What? Yeah. What? What is the
How
energies
did
from
you
the
rule that
heavens?
out?
Yeah.
And that was after encasing it and doing it a second time.
Yeah.
In bismuth. Not just encasing,
Yep.
encasing in bismuth.
Right.
Yeah.
And somehow it
Journism.
following the
Journism.
stars somehow.
Oh,
Journism
dear.
saying that, okay, if he has to raise this light up so we can see it, there's a curve, and all he can say is interesting.
Interesting.
It's like,
Yeah.
why do you think that was a failure?
Yeah, exactly.
And someone actually wanting to do some sciencey stuff, they would have followed that interesting. That's interesting. By actually frickin' trying to find out how that happens.
Now, of course, then
They didn't, of course.
Then there's another caveat with Bob Nodal's thing. Not only did he say, "Oh, it was the energy of the heavens." Not only did he say that, but in a interview for Behind the Curve, all of a sudden you hear Bob Nodal say, "We have to hide it because it looks very bad for flat Earth."
Yeah, don't show that.
Followed by a nervous laughter, by the way.
It looks very bad for flat Earth. We can't let this get out.
Yeah, exactly.
Bad news. Everyone knows about it now, and they knew you were hiding the results. Scientists, you are not.
Yeah, no. All right, well, let's continue on and see if
Happy
we can get
dresser,
through a little
he
bit
is
more,
not.
because we've been on this screen for a while here.
Okay.
So let's see if we can get through.
Let's do a 5 minute nonstop.
Ooh, 5 minutes?
could-
That's gonna be a rough one. Let's aim for
Restrain
3.
tornado.
Well, we're aim for 5 and at least go to
Yeah,
3.
let's contain ourselves and just let it keep going, people. Come on.
We can
Fine,
catch
so
up
this
on the
jacket
next
again?
drink call.
We can
The
do it,
second one
kids.
is science.
We can do this.
Is the most
Put on
concerted
a show.
effort to understand.
That's right.
Or to understand better the history of the natural world and how the natural world works, with observable physical evidence as
Ooh,
the
he can
basis
read
of
text.
that understanding. It is done through observation of the natural phenomenon
All
and
he
or
does is
through
read text.
experimentation
Yeah, at least he
that
doesn't
tries
say
to
evidence.
simulate
Well, he reads it better
natural
than the
processes
president does.
under controlled conditions. Now,
Wrong.
folks, in order to have a scientific experiment, you must have 5 things.
Wrong.
The first is a purpose or question.
Not necessarily.
Okay, and I'm not going to give a definition of all these. You
Of
can
course
go and
not.
do your own research
Why
and look
give a
them up. I'm
definition?
just
That'd be just
laying
too
the basis here
easy.
because the simplicity
bring
of
it
gravity
on.
being
Yeah, drink.
absolutely
Yeah.
ridiculous is going to usually smack most of us in the face. So
Uh-huh.
the first thing you must have is something called a purpose or a question. Okay, then you must propose a hypothesis, which is, I believe if A and B happen, X will be the result of the conclusion.
Yeah, well, since gravity's done all
you
of
must
that,
then have
we
an
can skip to
experiment.
that.
Under controlled conditions, you must be able to
Done that.
do an experiment that proves X, Y, Z
Done that on Earth and
is
the
in
moon.
fact your answer, or whatever the answer, your conclusion
Drink.
is. You either did or did not conclude to the problem. You did not bring conclusion to the problem, meaning you were able to answer it using this method, or you weren't.
Yeah, they did that
Okay.
too.
Analysis is the analytical process by which you observe the experiment, okay, by which the conclusion comes from your analysis. Okay.
Yeah, they
Before
did
I
all
go
that.
on, let's examine something called mass, density, and buoyancy. Now,
Oh, we're
before
beyond that. Now we're
gravity,
measuring
before Newton,
gravitational
there was
waves.
mass,
Christ's
density,
sake.
and buoyancy.
Dropity. You forgot
Mass
to say dropity.
was responsible not only for the quantity of matter, but also for how hard something fell to the earth. Here in this
was
journal,
that?
it
Those
says mass
cuts
is
are
related
awful.
Drink.
to how far objects
it
are
hit
attracted
the
to the earth.
Ah,
That's funny.
Damn.
I thought gravity did that. However, now
It has
some
nothing to do
people
with how
say, mass
hard it
gravity.
hits the earth.
Folks, mass was first
Oh,
the
my
explanation
brain.
I know.
of
I know.
how hard things
I know.
fell to the earth. Gravity came later. In fact, gravity didn't appear, like I said, until Newton, and Newton wrote about it. And if you look back through the annals of time, Newton
Up until
was
that time,
Illuminati.
everybody had to upside down to the earth.
all right. Well, we made it 3 minutes.
Oh, man.
So
Ooh, hey,
Holy
that's
I must,
good. 3
I
minutes.
must have
Thanks,
blinked
guys.
and missed something. When did he do a quick change?
I know.
you
Yeah,
did
the
miss something,
magnificent
hello.
cinematographer here.
All right. Well, let's start out. Bo, it looks like is at the top with the hand up, so let's start there.
Yeah, just a couple of things here. Now, these 5 points, this bad excuse for a toilet mishap here. I do believe there are a lot more stats than just those 5. I mean, you don't get to, as a scientist, and I fear using that word with that dumbass on screen, but hey, there's a lot more to it than just a scientist, doing the science and then say, here we go, that's a theory. It does not work like that, you dipshit. Because, you have to let others tear it apart, disprove shit, because that's what science is all about. Disprove it.
Peer review.
Numbskull. Exactly. Peer review.
Yeah.
But hey, this dumbskull, numbnuts here, he is a dishonest little shit. He knows this. He
Of course he
knows
does.
about it. He doesn't just know that we claim this. No, he knows it
Yeah.
to be the case. But he does not, he's a disingenuous, dingleberry. So,
Well, let's head on over to Tornado with the hand up.
Frank, in
Okay.
other words.
there's also another caveat to be had here, in that JM Truth is partially right, but you don't analyze things without data. He left out a very important step, and also the observation of the phenomenon. Basically, you have an observation of a phenomenon. And then you ask the question, what caused this? Then you propose a hypothesis. I think that this causes it. So then you look to try and disprove the hypothesis. If this is the correct cause of this phenomenon, here's how we tell. And do experiments to disprove that. It's like, so, yeah, if you manage to get that hypothesis effectively proven, mind you, I said effectively, not completely, because it's not exactly proven, because science doesn't deal with proofs, it deals with evidence. Either way, you manage to get it effectively proven that that's the cause. So by performing those experiments, you do that. Then you analyze the data, whether or not that is really what happened or what else could be at work there. Like, say, the Gansfeld experiment. I was watching a lot of Mortimer 81, so that's why I'm bringing this up. But the Gansfeld experiment was a poor experiment because it didn't control what the woman was doing. So it wasn't a reliable experiment. So anyway, aside from that, after you do all that, then you gather the data, and finally, after you do that, you analyze it and, well, formulate your conclusions. That's the scientific method in a nutshell.
Yeah, we all know that.
That was a really big nutshell.
Coconut shell.
And that's pretty much what Bo just finished saying, too.
Yes. Well, let's head on over to Chris Kelling.
Okay, well, first of all, was he defining mass with mass? Saying mass is mass?
Yes, he was.
Mhm.
Okay, I just wanted to make sure of that, because I was told
massive,
in
so.
third grade you never define a word with the word.
Yeah.
So, okay. Yeah. The other thing I wanted to say was something that Tornado was pointing towards is control data. How do you know that what you're trying to experiment or trying to affect or trying to prove or trying to show, whatever, is being affected by what you're doing? And you need control data so you can compare the two. That is just one method of how you run an experiment. That isn't necessarily something that is required in all situations. But I find it very interesting that when a flat earther especially tries to come up with a method of why something is happening, they don't provide any kind of control saying, well, okay, when this event isn't happening, this is happening, or anything like that. There's no way to prove it or disprove it. It's just because that's the way it looks to me. I trust my senses. Okay.
Yeah.
I can fool your senses.
Yeah.
You know, it's like.
Well, let's head
and
on
on that
over.
note, our senses are not infallible, so claiming that they are is an argument from ignorance.
Let's
Well,
head on
flat
over to
earthers will
RJ.
take both sides of that argument and use whichever side of that argument fits their particular moment.
Right.
Good point.
RJ had his hand up, and then we'll continue on.
Oh yeah, golly gosh, this is way beyond the lack of control data of Chris. This is that he leaves out the data part, because you'll notice how I mentioned Galileo earlier. The impression he's trying to give is that Newton just sort of came up with this gravity word and is just kind of thinking about it without any really grounding in anything. No. Gravity is an acceleration. The phenomenon was well developed by the time Newton came along. What Newton did was figure out a thing that explained why things move the way they do. Right. Now, I bet you $9 to a hole in a donut that this nincompoop is never going to lay out what falling objects actually do and offer any model that is unique to his flat Earth framework to account for any of it in any way, shape, or form. And we can guess this because in the past 500 years, no flat earther has been able to do this. And I think there must have been one or two of them that are brighter than him, since your average block of wood is brighter than him.
Yeah.
Well-
I mean, I hate to say it, but I think there are some flat earthers that are smarter than JM Truth.
Yeah, it's a scintillating thing, but nevertheless, this is a low bar we're setting.
Yeah.
But we see time and
I mean,
time again
wasn't
that intelligence has nothing to do with flat Earth beliefs. There are some very,
Yeah.
very intelligent people who actually think the Earth is flat.
Yeah, they're just Tortukans, though. They have that capacity to ignore
No.
data field, and we're observing him. We're doing a scientific experiment here. We are observing our flat earther suppressing data field by ignoring Galileo and gravitational acceleration. So we shall hypothesize that he will never offer any of that information, and therefore will never reach the stage where he can offer an explanation for it that is uniquely and testably so from a flat earth perspective, which their flat earth model is never well developed to begin with, and therefore he's got yet another thing. Are we far enough behind the data field here to drown?
Yeah.
I want to throw
Dunning-Kruger,
an
upper left.
amendment in with that. Is Riley tends to make up numbers
Yeah.
because they don't matter, and so he'll
No,
say
they're unicorn farts.
Yeah, he'll say 5, and you're like, 5 what?
5 what?
Yeah.
Five's
It doesn't
Norton
matter. It's
angles.
just 5. Yeah, so we'll call that 0.
Yeah.
It's like what?
It's like, no, that's not how any of this works.
Well,
Use
after all, he
specific
has
terms and numbers
the
to
drumstick
define them.
wrapped in tape. So
Yeah.
he is already way far ahead of somebody that doesn't have one of those.
That's true. You're not
Yeah.
wrong, RJ.
Yeah.
We also had Hillel put his hand up.
This is
Either
a
that or he
small
fell
thing.
asleep on his keyboard and his forehead hit the button.
Well, you don't have any evidence of that. I suppose it's just more a small thing, sort of leading off of what RJ said about like something else Newton did, with stuff like calculus, which he was able to show how this law of universal gravitation thing, how it was able to match up with Kepler's laws of planetary motion, which just provided a very nice sort of
Also observational.
yeah, exactly a kind of a symmetry, saying, hey, here's a good reason why this particular kind of formula works well, is we can see how it would lead to an effect of what we're seeing in the real world, which is all about that's what modern physics is, or physics in general is all about, is trying to describe some sort of especially stuff like forces and accelerations, and talking about how those and relating those to stuff that's happening in the real world.
Newton never went to college for calculus, so
No, he just had to invent it.
I say, yeah, I mean, you're not wrong.
And that Leibniz
true.
guy, boy, they had a lot of time on their hands, and instead of playing video games, they were like inventing calculus.
Right.
No cell phones, just people living in the moment.
Yeah.
Pretty much.
Or as Newton would have called them, fluxions.
All right.
Ooh,
Well, let us continue on
fluxions.
and see how far
Yeah,
we can get.
we use Leibniz's, we use Newton's description, the symbols, and we use Leibniz's description because he was the one that called it calculus.
All right. Well, let's see if we can get through another substantial chunk of this video here.
Threats again, huh?
Yep.
Okay. I'm waiting for
right.
my gravitational acceleration here in FMA.
Yeah. Keep
Good
waiting.
luck.
Here we go.
Well, look at his frame grade there. He's clueless.
That is a historical fact. Okay, go look it up. Okay, so mass was used to define how much matter was in an object, and how in fact it
Because
was attracted
that's what
to
you're
the
trying to
Wait a minute.
measure.
Not gravity,
Hold it.
mass.
How much matter is
Okay.
an object?
Density
it's in an
was in
object.
fact how tightly those atoms were packed together. So, for example, a solid bowling ball is more dense
solid.
than foam.
Or you could use your head, which
A
is denser
bowling
than
ball
any
would
bowling
sink
ball.
in water.
RJ, I swear
Foam
to
will
God.
float on the top. Okay, why?
The
Because
bowling ball isn't solid.
the foam
He
is
doesn't
far
know
less
that.
dense than a bowling ball. Okay,
Everyone I've
Now,
ever cut up is
buoyancy
solid.
is the force that causes an object to float.
I think he's
either
talking
in the
atomically. They're
air
not solid.
or in the water. And there are some who would even argue that
nothing
air
solid.
has a lot of water in it and is in fact a liquid. Now, I'm not going to argue that. I'm simply making the point that buoyancy is
No, you're not.
responsible for the things that go up and float, either in air, as I mentioned before, or in the water. And density was the force related to something falling to the ground or sinking. One of those
What
two.
forces
Okay.
acting
So
on
here
those
we can
objects?
see, now here on
Sorry.
this
One question
that
for
you're
you,
looking
JM.
at,
Why?
it says mass is related to an object's inertia,
Please.
but it is also
All right. Well, we didn't quite make it that far that time, but let's see. Well, we had Tornado with the hand up first.
Yes, because density is not a measure of how fast things fall. It is actually a measure of how tightly packed the stuff in a space is. Density is mass divided by volume. Oh, and another interesting thing is that density is in the formula for buoyancy. In fact, there's also two forces. There's actually a force there at work in the buoyancy formula. In fact, I happen to have the buoyancy formula up here right in front of me, and it is it is V or FB, force of buoyancy equals the volume of the object, rho is the density of the fluid, and G is gravitational acceleration.
Yeah, you lost every flat earther on the planet after in front of me.
Yeah, pretty much. Hillel, you had your hand up?
I mean, thank you for noticing. Basically it's pretty similar, but just that density isn't the force which makes things fall down, because density isn't a force. It's totally the wrong units. This actually gets back to something that we're talking about with Anthony. Is that density does not have units which are anything like force.
Yeah.
I actually have a better version of the buoyant force formula. B is the buoyant force in newtons. Rho F is the fluid density in kilograms per meter cubed. V is the displaced body volume of the fluid in kilograms per meter cubed. And G is the gravitational acceleration at 9.806 meters per second per second.
Here on Earth, at least.
Yeah.
So I mean, that's something else, is that the buoyant force is dependent on the buoyant force is dependent on whatever acceleration the object is already feeling. So, if, for example, it's not just gravity. If you put it in a centrifuge, then an object that was buoyant would move differently. It would move in a different direction and with a different buoyant force, because it depends on the accelerations the object is experiencing. You know, an object that's not experiencing any accelerations, like gravity, there's no such thing as a buoyant force, which is why stuff like if you have a water bottle that you're pumping, I've seen this before, like if you're pumping air bubbles into a water bottle that's full of water and you drop it, while it's in free fall, the bubbles don't rise anymore because there's no gravitational acceleration anymore.
Oh, and fun fact.
Tornado, I will strangle you to death.
Sorry, I'm kind of hyper.
We'll watch.
We've noticed.
What else? Oh yeah, one last thing is that if density, if even though it's not a force and has totally wrong units, if density is the force responsible for making objects fall, you'd expect objects which are more dense to fall faster, which is not something which is not true. If you take two objects that are of a similar kind of surface area, so that they perhaps not, you don't have something that's too light such that drag forces can get in the way, or if you just do it in a vacuum chamber to get rid of those drag forces, objects fall at the same rate regardless of whatever their density or their mass is.
And those are like experiments and observations.
And let's also remember that what you were just explaining there has been demonstrated on live TV during one of the Apollo flights. I think it was 16, where they dropped.
We dropped the
ball and the feather,
golf club, and the something or other.
And they floated down or fell down to the moon surface at the exact same rate.
Was that Apollo 14?
It might have been. It was one of those.
Yeah, but that's on the moon, so it doesn't count.
Right.
Yeah. Okay. Because gravity is different there.
But we
we
never
also,
went there.
yeah, apparently. We also had
Actually,
Chris
the gravity
Kelling
is
with the
different there
hand up.
technically.
Well,
Yeah,
it's,
but it
you
seems
mean how
the-
it's created,
Yeah, I know. what you
or
mean.
or it's amount.
Yeah, I know. What you mean.
Now,
Chris
of course,
Kelling.
Yeah. So shut up.
Chris
Yes, ma'am.
Kelling.
Okay. Yeah. Hang on here. Where's my cursor? There it is. Okay.
That cursed cursor.
Lower hand. So I want to ask JM, which weighs more, pound of lead or pound of feathers?
Neither.
Okay.
The pound of
And
feathers.
so, well, which is going to take up more volume? It's going to be the pound of feathers. Which one's going to reach the floor first in a vacuum chamber? They're going to reach at the same time. I just keep always thinking of the demonstration that's in the Chicago Science Museum, or at least it was when I was a kid, where you had a vacuum chamber that would raise the two objects up. There was a feather and a BB, I think, and then pump all the air out of it, and then they would drop the platforms, and you watch them fall down at the same time. And it was proof positive there.
Yeah,
Yeah,
absolutely.
you just have to take that nasty, annoying little thing called friction or air resistance into account.
Yeah.
Of course.
Well, didn't Brian Cox did that? He's got a video with that in it.
Oh yeah, in one of NASA's old rocket fuel tanks
Yeah.
that had been modified. Well, they've been modifying a lot of their old rocket equipment to use for other things. But yeah, I remember it was a huge vacuum chamber.
Yeah, it was.
I mean, 6 or 7, maybe even 8 meters wide
Jeez, that's crazy.
chamber, and what, 20 meters high or something?
Something like that, yeah.
Yeah.
It's pretty
Takes
Well-
forever to empty that thing.
Last but not least, we had RJ with the hand up.
Yeah. Am I the only one here that's getting a really serious deja vu feeling? Because even though this guy is not one I've seen before, this line of reasoning, which is to pile up quotes that they copy
Right,
from
reasoning.
encyclopedias and
Yep.
websites and highlight them and then play off the wordplay to make the argument, and they never get to actually define or illustrate in a
They never get to that
mathematical
point.
sense. We've been down this dirt road before, and it
Yes, we
leads to a
have.
bunghole.
Yes,
Oh yeah,
yes,
the
it does.
idiot that loves to say container. Yeah, I can't remember what his name is though.
Quantum Eraser says that.
Oh yeah,
There's
quantum
only
eraser.
one flat Earth argument, and it's wrong.
Yeah, pretty much.
Pretty much.
Well, that and dropity. Ay.
They all
Where's
parody
the
each other
container?
anyway.
Thunderfoot clown, Thunderfoot clown, Thunderfoot clown.
All right. Well, shall we continue on?
Yeah, let's get to that science.
we?
I want to get to my
Yeah.
accelerations.
Yeah, we'll get there, RJ. Sure.
Yeah, sure.
All right.
Sure.
Here
Sorry
we go,
about the
guys.
bad
Liar.
Nathan Oakley impression.
Related to how hard objects are attracted to the Earth. Now, if you go
But a
on,
heavy object
it
loves
also
a
says
thin
better
object
minds than
really
ours
much.
have been confused over the meaning of the concept mass.
Yes,
and
we know
even
he
today,
can
better
read
minds than ours
reasonably
Barely.
well.
contemplate what mass really means. Now, I'm not going to go into all that mumbo jumbo.
Of course
what
not.
I'm going to show you is
Just because you can
The-
read doesn't
the-
mean you can comprehend.
That's
the powers
true.
that be are laying things in front of you to suggest to you that there are people out there that have better minds than yours. This is what we call
Wordplay.
suggestive programming, folks. Better minds than ours, and it's stated twice. Better minds than ours. Again,
Wordplay.
it is suggestive programming, and in essence says your mind isn't as good as this one over here, and
Ad
this is-
hominem
thi-
and
this person's better
appeal
than
to
you.
vox populi and
that is complete hogwash.
argumentative
Okay?
and
You've
irrelevant
been
and
programmed
immaterial, Mr.
To
Mason.
think negatively about yourself. Okay, I just wanted to add that in there. That's my little 2 cents.
Because conspiracy. Drink.
On this other page,
Yet another magic part of
We
his
see-
cinematography again.
uh,
Okay,
now, that having been said, there are in fact people like Neil deGrasse Tyson who, if you ask him what gravity is, responds like this.
What is gravity?
You have no idea. Okay, next question.
Wow.
No, here's the difference. We can describe gravity. We
Okay.
can say what it does to other things. We can measure it,
Measure.
predict with it. But when you start asking, like, what it is, I don't know.
So
It
did
is-
I accidentally ask a deeper question than I meant to?
Yeah, no, you were meant to ask deep questions
Apparently I was.
in life.
You don't have to be a rocket scientist to figure out
Oh dear God.
that he
You
has
cut
no
your quote
answer
off
for
before we
gravity.
continue.
And he can't give mass as an answer because mass is already spoken for.
Drink.
Nope, that's
So
not what he was saying.
gravity is this magical
Oh, my liver.
It's not
magical
magic, you fuckwit.
force that Neil deGrasse Tyson likes to take a microphone and drop it to the floor. Mortimer 81 likes to take a pencil and drop it, call you a name while he's telling you that's gravity. Yet that's not gravity. Science has already indicated that mass is responsible for that phenomenon.
Nope.
No.
So folks,
Dunk dunk.
I'm going to present you with more information here on this journal called Gravity Its Own Theory, and it's a library resource, by the way.
Editing,
It
you
says
dumb
universal
fuck.
I
gravity
know,
is a theory,
he is so
not
pissed
a
off
fact.
at that.
Well, let's read that again.
Mr.
Universal
Cinematographer.
gravity is a theory, not a fact. Let's read that again, just one more time.
Correct.
Just for those of you who missed it the first 2 times. Because when this is done,
you.
I am tired of this argument about gravity. I don't care what NASA says. I don't care about what the genius astrophysicist Neil deGrasse Tyson says, who can't even answer what gravity is. But they tout him as a god.
Oh, no.
Okay, folks,
We
here
don't
it says
count him
universal
as a
gravity is a
god.
Oh,
theory,
you
not a
mother.
fact. Regarding the natural law of attraction,
Drink.
this material should be approached with an open mind, studied carefully, and critically considered. Now,
God.
folks, you've been taught not to use your senses. To not
Oh,
consider
this
your
is a
ears, your
big
nose, your
mistake
mouth.
he's just
Most of the
made.
culture
Yes,
really
it is.
Stop,
Yes,
stop.
it is.
We know what is he's done here.
Uh-huh.
and
Yep.
and we know exactly what it is by looking at the blue part. Look what
Uh-huh.
it's from.
All right. Well, let's start with tornado.
It's just a theory. It hasn't been proven. I fucking called it. I fucking called it. JM Truth, you are a fuckwit. Universal gravitation is not even a theory. It is a law. Newton's law of universal gravitation. However, you are forgetting what the theory you're talking about is actually called. You are not talking about the theory of universal gravity. And that's not even really a theory. What you want to actually talk about is the theory of general relativity, which says that gravity is curvature of space-time. And that mass causes the curvature of this space-time. That is the theory of general relativity, or at least one of its postulates. And it has been also proven with relative quotation marks around it, because you can't really prove to the certainty that you can prove something in mathematics. But it has been effectively proven that gravitational, the whole space-time thing, curvature of space-time, can also muck around with light, which is how the theory of general relativity was actually vindicated with the solar eclipse over 100 years ago. Get with the program, fuckwit!
All right. Well, let's move on over to RJ.
Ah, yes. And of course, I was one of 2 who the alarm bells went off the moment you looked to see what's on the bottom. NCSE.com, National Center for Science Education. Gravity is only a theory. This is a parody. This is a travesty version. This was attacking intelligent design by phrasing the gravity model as if an intelligent designer were criticizing it, and using all the rhetoric of the intelligent design movement to show if you applied that to gravity, you would be coming up with something that sounded absolutely absurd, that gravity is an observable phenomenon. So all of this stuff about the universal theory of gravity, this is something that's in the thing that's being a parody to show why intelligent design kind of arguments about it's only a theory are wrong. And the fact that he doesn't know what the content of this thing was, that he was taking this as an actual statement, in which case he's an idiot, or he recognized what it was and is using it deliberately and misrepresenting it, in which case he's a pathetic vial of pus, which should not be regarded by anybody, and little children should take his knees in the street.
Well, I mean, I think
here
either
I
way,
thought he
he's an
was
idiot.
called
Damn,
JM,
RJ.
but okay.
Tell us how you really feel.
Yeah. So
let's
he was.
go.
Actually,
this was exactly the wrong example for him to bring up.
Yeah, if I may, I mean, I can take my hand down because this is just what I was going to say. Because I'm impressed you found that particular quote when literally, if you read the article, as I put it, I put a link to it there in chat, and both in live chat and and here in Zoom. It says literally the very second sentence is this satirical look at quote only a theory unquote disclaimers imagines what might happen if advocates of intelligent design applied the same logic to the theory of gravitation that they do the theory of evolution. It's satire.
Right.
Yeah. So either that guy is humorless, and we have seen enough of him to suggest that's a working hypothesis, or he's dull as a sack of hammers.
Humorous and
Oh, no,
apparently illiterate.
it's even worse. It's even worse because what he's done, if he had to go to that article, he certainly saw the satire bit, which means he's quote mining.
Oh, not necessarily. Theoretically, he could have been a parasite who copied the material from somebody else who made the mistake first, and even including the website. That kind of, you'd have to establish that this particular segment had been quoted by somebody else, and that could track down where a secondary source is. But I would say the most probable is that he got it on his own and is merely misrepresenting it because he's a fuckwit.
In that particular case, how gullible do you have to be in order to just take this quote without checking the source when you literally cite the source?
Oh, but remember, he's a flat earther.
Basically, this guy is either A, misrepresenting the source, in which case either A, he's not taken a look at the rest of the article, in which case he's completely took out the context.
Well, lazy.
He's quote mining.
That goes too.
Or he did look at the article and he snipped out the bit that he really wanted, in which case he's also quote mining. In either case, he's lying.
Bad dog.
All
bad
of the
dog.
above.
You are a bad dog and need to be spanked.
Yes. And let's go over to Purple with the hand up.
Yeah, Purple.
Instead of punching the co-brother?
Well, normally I don't say anything.
You got a big thrill out of that when you
says
looked
he
down
isn't
at the
doing
bottom
that
too,
right now?
didn't you?
Normally I won't say anything about anybody's production values, but we know he has a degree in film.
Yes, he does.
Okay, so if
From
that's what his
Evergreen State
degree
University.
is,
From a
and he's
bubblegum
so,
rapper.
yeah, if that is what his degree in, and he is so bad with that, how does he expect us to take him seriously on the science stuff?
We don't.
Yeah, there we go.
No, but he thinks people should.
Because he
know, and
has
he's
a
deleted.
master's in science, which he really doesn't.
Yeah.
He doesn't.
I have seen the document this quote is taken from, and it is badly out of context.
Yeah, absolutely.
Well, the moment I saw
I'm not surprised.
ncse.com, I knew exactly what it was.
Yeah, I can't say that I'm surprised, to be honest.
Fault mining
Bo, you had
bastard.
your hand up?
Oh, crap. Yeah, great. Unmuting by muting in. Lovely. Yeah. What this dingbat tried to do with this magnificent masterpiece video here can be actually be explained by paraphrasing a little bit of the text here. And adding it as Let me try that again because I fucked it up
That's easy for you to say.
Yeah, exactly. One more go. Let's try this again then. True, JM Truth. You have proven nothing. However, you have demonstrated the very antithesis of what I'm going to say here, that the universal theory of gravity not even being a good theory. You have not even tried to begin proving or disproving how
Jack shit.
your navel gets filled up with fluff. No matter, I mean, you haven't even tried, you haven't even...
Did we lose
Gone?
Bo, I think, there?
I think we did.
Uh-oh.
No. I'm gonna paraphrase something that Red said. JM Truth, you're full of more shit than a backed up sewer after a fat bastard had some Taco Bell and flushed.
Well, I think we lost Bo there for a moment, so...
Oh no.
What a travesty.
We'll come back to him if he comes back.
Mm-hmm.
All right, well, let us continue on and see
Good
if
night,
we can
Hill.
see if we can get through some more here.
Oh no, we killed Hill.
You
Yes,
bastard.
good night, Hillel.
You bastard.
All right. All
Well, Hillel's going to have little keyboard markers on his cheek again.
Yeah, he might. All right, let's continue on.
Okay, the way most of you talk. But we should be using our senses. And we've been taught to ignore our senses for the magic of NASA, which is nothing more than smoke and mirrors and cameras, folks. I'm a filmmaker. I can attest to that. So let's move on.
Drink!
This is, first of all,
No, keep going.
no one has measured gravity for every atom and every star. That is a true
He's
fact.
quoting from a
It
satirical
is simply
work.
a religious
He's
belief
slicing off
that
his
is,
own
in fact,
gangplank.
universal. So I'm going to read that one more time because it's so good.
Oh, let's
And
slice it
then
off
let us move
more.
on and not entertain these silly notions of gravity, folks. Let's go back to what is real and what is not real. Unfortunately, it is clearly admitted
Filmmaking at
that
its
gravity is not
best.
fact. Yet it is written in every science
Awful.
book, in every school, in every district, in every state,
His
in
gas
every
pressure
country,
video
in every
was
nation
even
around the
worse
world.
than this. In cuts, it was awful.
At what point do we stand up and say enough's enough? We've had it with NASA's lies.
Enough's
We've had it
enough.
with our government pouring poison down our throats. We've had it with all
You
of
understand the
of
words that are
Bullshit!
coming out of your mouth.
Bullshit!
delusions
Bullshit!
that we've been fed.
Bullshit!
One more time, shall we? Gravity is its own theory. Universal gravity is a
Boy,
theory,
he's trying to
not a
milk
fact.
this one.
Regarding the natural law of
He
attraction,
is.
this
Because
material
he thinks this
should be
proves
approached with an open
Now-
mind,
proves gravity.
studied carefully and critically.
Only admit
and
what it
critically
is.
considered.
I have a funny joke I will give
I would
when
also
we
add to
pause.
that critically
It's
analyze
like
the
a
information.
kid who was told he had to have 1,000 words.
The universal theory of
exactly
gravity is
on a
often
report.
taught in schools as a fact, when it is in fact not even a good theory. First of all, no one has measured gravity for every atom and every star. It is simply a religious belief that is universal. Folks, I would also encourage you to look into the argument of what they call the firmament or the ether. The argument of whether the ether exists or it doesn't exist. The Bible calls it the firmament and says it is a hard dome of
No, it
molten
does not.
metal or molten glass. depending on
Show me the
whether
Bible
Glass is simply a
that
crystal.
says that, please.
Metal can also be considered the same. Okay, so
Well,
with that having
sped
been
up,
said,
he does actually look like a human.
I would suggest if people want to argue about science and use science as its method of, then let us use real science and not foolishness like dropping pens and microphones and calling it this or that. Okay? Just because Neil
Yeah,
deGrasse
let's
Tyson
use
has
real
a
science
degree in
instead
something
of the
called
foolishness that is you
astrophysics,
quote mining something.
when most of you can't even probably contemplate what that means. I don't even contemplate what that means because
Those
that would
are
imply
mighty good cherries, aren't
Oh,
they?
you
that there's a
contemplate
different
very
law
well.
of
For the
physics for the astrology or the astrological world. You're told that the moon is stuck to the earth by gravity. But that can't be. Because you just read here, gravity doesn't exist.
Oh dear.
I can drink!
Yeah, remember, I'm first dibs here.
Yes, RJ.
Yeah, failing to recognize the satirical nature of the source is like saying that I have a visual proof that cooked spaghetti is grown on plantations in Switzerland, and that there is a gigantic pipeline that pumps Starbucks coffee from Seattle to Chicago. Every one of those things were done on April Fools, and it therefore must mean that, right?
Yeah.
That's like the Onion when they said that Canada is building a bypass for the U.S. and going directly to Mexico.
Yeah, or the deliberate hoax about a pterodactyl and a human being together in a deposit that was deliberately designed to excite disbelief, and Kent Hovind thought it was real.
Yeah.
JM Truth, there's two possibilities here. A, you read the article fully, and then you snipped out the bit that was pertaining to your idea, which is dishonest, which means you lied. Or you didn't read the article, in which case you're a fucking idiot. But either...
Or both. I'm going for both at the moment.
It could be both.
You know what? Let me put it this way. The idea that you can be smart is a religious belief, because there is nothing in that vacuum of putrid nonsense that is between your ears.
Yeah.
Oh, now be gentle. Be gentle, Tornado.
Settle down, Tornado.
He may be the first person in his family to walk upright.
That's true.
The fact that you did not recognize the satirical nature of an article and that it criticized intelligent design is proof of your stupidity. Or
what are you doing still on F-Zero, by the way?
I'm not in an F-Zero. I'm at an F4.
Let's head on over to Purple.
Well, multiple times he said, I can't comprehend. So
that was
his
true.
entire basis is, if I don't understand it, it can't be real.
Right. Right.
Yeah, that seems to be a common theme among a lot of flat earthers.
Yeah, that's flat Earth right there.
And also the fact that he took a quote out of context.
That's flat Earth too.
Yeah. That's page 1 of the Flat Earth Manual.
If they could get a job at cherry picking, they'd be millionaires.
Yeah.
Because I see some beautiful cherries ripe for the picking.
Yeah. All right. Well, let us continue on a little bit more and see what else he has to say and quote from different scientific articles.
Oh,
what's
you're
the
not named
time check
Tornado
on
for
this,
nothing.
by the way?
What was that?
What's the time check on this?
We're doing good, pretty good. We're about 2/3 of the way through, maybe 3/4.
Hey, sweet.
Somewhere right around there.
Are we gonna get to the science yet?
Oh, absolutely, RJ.
You
Just
keep
wait
bringing
for it.
the science,
formula is
RJ.
explaining gravitational acceleration from a flat Earth perspective. I'm really looking forward to this groundbreaking work.
All right. Well, let's see what he has to say.
I'm not going to argue, flat Earth, round Earth, that kind of stuff in this video. I simply want to present to you the notion that science already has admitted gravity does not exist.
No, it's admitted no such thing in your
things
life.
with a analytical mind. We need to do so on a basis of solid rock, not on shifting sand, like what pseudoscience now has told you and got you all to believe, because they were able to put lies and all this crap in your school books.
Drink!
Anyway, do as you will. But as for me and my house, we will seek truth, and we will seek understanding. First and foremost, from our Heavenly Father, who is clearly the creator of all things.
Truth, dude.
Oh, he knows the truth.
There's always been
It
this
just
debate
doesn't
between
serve his
science
narrative.
and faith, and people call it religion. Religion is
Truth
not.
set him free, and his little
the same,
brain floated
okay?
off by buoyancy
faith.
into the stratosphere and has
I'm
never
not
been
religious.
seen again.
I do have faith. So I would plead to you that we return to sanity and not
Please,
psychosis,
please
and not
return
craziness.
to sanity.
Hey, there ain't no sanity
Damn
clause.
truth?
For our children's sake, for our posterity's sake.
You leave posterity out of it, you damn bastard.
That we stop listening to these narcissistic, absolutely lunatic, psychotic idiots
Oh,
who
we don't
apparently have
listen to
infiltrated
people like you.
most of America. Anyway,
Hey,
they
John,
poisoned your
Says the
water,
arrogant
told you
narcissist
that
from his
your water's
basement.
clean.
Exactly.
They poisoned your air, and they continue to do it.
Oh boy, that's
Without
all
your consent.
Newton's fault too.
Yeah.
They don't need the
Neil
consent.
deGrasse Tyson.
Damn Newton for finding gravity. Damn him.
Folks, there is your scientific analysis for gravity. All you had to do is go look. It's there, staring you in the face. Now I'm sure there'll be people who will still claim gravity exists because they've been indoctrinated to believe
Here's
that.
my Sporgle Nartzel, and
But
I've
anyone
done
who
them
claims gravity is
I'm a
lying is an
liar.
idiot.
I'm a
and I
liar.
farmbled.
Because it's a made-up word that they made to sell you space, stars, solar systems, galaxies, nebulas, and the craziness of the astrological world. Which is basically all.
Put astrological and
Does
First,
he
they don't-
music, astronomy, and
Space.
astrology?
Stop.
Yeah, he doesn't realize that. Of course not.
I
Hey,
lost count of how many drink calls there needed to be
I
there.
don't know.
Yeah, there was
You
a
want-
few.
That one deserves exponential.
Joshua, I'm going to say this, and I need everyone to shush. Hey, Josh, you want answers? You want the truth? You can't handle the truth!
Don't wake
Yeah.
up your mom.
Yeah, seriously.
Don't wake her up, hun.
All right, well, we're almost
We do
through
apologize
with our
to
video here.
several actors.
Oh, when you
Yeah.
say almost done, what do you mean?
Like we're pretty close. Let's just finish it out here.
And you better wake up and realize that fact real quick. Because they've been lying to you for thousands of years. With that having been said,
Whoa,
I hope that's been a
pause,
benefit to you.
I'm not
blessings to
that
you.
Yeah,
old. Thank
wait,
you
whoa,
very
Pray
much.
the Father
Been
should
lying
love
to us
you.
for 1,000 years?
And may the Father guide you into all
Yeah,
truth.
Newton lived back
Till next
in
time, my
like
friends. Shalom.
a contemporary of
Wasn't it
Charlemagne, I think.
1700s? Was it
1600s, I think.
1700s?
Yeah, late
17
1600s or
whatever.
early 1700s.
Alrighty, well, so that's the end of our video. We have Shadow with the hand up, so let's head on over there first.
Yes. Okay. So the whole lying to us for thousands of years, not even 1,000 years ago, people did believe the Earth was flat. And-
No, that's the. There's been a solid understanding that the Earth has been a sphere since basically Eratosthenes.
Well, that's the Greeks, but there were
But-
still flat Earth Christian apologists even in the third and fourth century.
People in general. I think you're talking people in general, hun.
True.
Yeah. Maybe let me do my thing before you correct me. But no, people believed, like, especially in Europe, like Spain, like circa 1492, that, or at least maybe not 1492, but earlier at one point, it was believed that there was some sort of edge of the Earth. Maybe not the flat earthers we have today, but people did not believe that the solar system worked in the way that we now know, based on observation and, you know, pictures and facts, how it does. Like the fact that people believe the sun revolved around the Earth.
Right.
So him saying that we've been lied to for thousands of years in itself is factually incorrect, because for thousands of years we had so many different working theories, all based on what we feasibly could observe. And it wasn't until modern technology and the proper tools were provided to disprove these prior theories and form where we are today. And even then, things may change. I
Yeah.
think he doesn't get the point of science is always, I hate to say it, but evolving.
Yeah.
Oh, and not only that, but J.M. Truth is A, either a blithering idiot because he didn't read the entire article, in which case he lied about it, or B, he did read the entire article, noticed the satirical nature, and clipped out the bit that he wanted, in which case he quote mined and lied about it. So which is it, J.M. Truth? Are you an idiot or are you a fraud?
Both.
Yeah. One does not nullify the other.
Yeah.
Well,
Glober Mom, you had the
true.
hand up?
I take affront to him saying that I have been lied to for thousands of years. I've only lived in 2 different centuries, and I've seen the millennia come and go. Okay? I am not that damn old.
Yeah. Oh, geez. He's
What I find really interesting is that he talks about gravity and the globe Earth belief as a religion, and he uses the word in such a implied definition and tone of voice that to make it sound like something is terrible, horrible, bad about religion, but then at the same moment he spouts his own personal religion.
Exactly.
And well,
Well,
you
he
know,
calls that
that's-
he calls
just
that
sounds
not
like a
religion.
conflict.
He says it's faith.
Yeah, okay. Well, then God must really like dumb people.
Yeah. Oh dear. And RJ, you had your hand up?
Yes, I did. It did. You'll notice that earlier in the program, I decided I would perform a science experiment with this video. You will recall that I purported to have a hypothesis that there would be no discussion of the actual details of the gravitational acceleration as 10 meters per second squared.
Yeah.
Or 32 meters per second squared, that at no point would he ever offer a hypothesis or description with mathematics or any other that would be consistent uniquely with the flat earth hypothesis that in turn I predicted as a working hypothesis he would not present. You may notice that we have observed that all of my suggestions have been borne out by observation, from which I conclude that he is a fucking asshole.
Yeah, I mean, that sounds about right, RJ. I'm not going to lie.
Yep. That's the scientific method.
I like
RJ,
it.
is this RJ, is this honestly your first contact with JM Truth?
Yeah, I don't think I've seen this twit before. I think I would have recognized the basement.
You need to go to
It's an older video,
go
though.
to-
That's the thing.
Go to a channel by the name of Riders of Dinosaurs.
Yes.
Oh yeah.
And watch his
Rider of
series
Dinosaurs.
Only a one rider, yeah.
on JM Truth videos. You will enjoy it most
You
thoroughly.
laugh
In
your
the
butt
same way
off.
that I enjoy hitting my head with a ball peen hammer.
Yes,
No,
exactly.
you will actually enjoy this.
Oh, I enjoyed this. I enjoyed putting the screws to that motherfucking idiot.
But we have determined empirically that either he cannot read NCSE or is a manipulative twerp.
Yeah. Chris Kelling, you had your hand up?
Yes, thank you. I find JM Truth ridiculous.
Ridiculous.
Yeah.
Yeah, I should have
think we
brought
can all
my
agree.
own Harry Potter wand up there to shake at the screen. In
Exactly.
You know what I should say? I think that we should give JM Truth a big fat objection.
Oh, I must point out that I do measure things on the Jaren scale, where one Jaren is unbelievably stupid, indefensible twaddle.
Yeah, that's true.
Because of the sheer superficiality of this, and because of the cheap theatrics, he's only about 0.006 Jarens.
Hey, wait. Whoa. What about Jaren himself? Does he rate at a maximum 1 Jaren?
Usually, but Jaren, when he's really on a roll, has gone as high as 3 Jarens.
Oh, dear.
And that, I tell you, can get a hernia from either him or the audience. Cute little pug.
The cute little pug.
Sorry for screaming at the mic earlier.
And that's a tongue on that shepherd.
Yeah.
I know. Yes, my boy.
That's a lick your face off tongue.
But yeah, like I said, sorry about all the screaming I did
Yes.
because this fool just pisses me off.
Yes,
We
it can
know.
be quite irritating.
Dawson is going to enjoy this.
Yes.
All right. Well, with that, everybody, I think we will wrap up here for the evening.
Now, will you promise us you will never put that video ever again before any other sentient being on pain of death?
Yes, that specific video, yes.
You have done a service to civilization, my dear.
But we'll have something interesting again for you next week, I'm sure. You know, maybe we'll add some new
Stupid
videos.
never ends.
No, it really doesn't. But with that,
pelvic floor exercises.
perhaps I'll review it this week and let you know. Oh, jeez. All right. Well, with that, I do want to say thank you, everybody, for coming out again tonight. I do appreciate it. We are slightly abbreviated tonight. We're at about 2 hours, but I do have to get up again in the morning for work. Stupid adulting.
Damn work.
I know.
Adulting sucks.
But thank you all for
I'm
coming.
glad I don't have to adult.
Yeah, it's nice to not adult sometimes. All right. Thank you all again for coming. I do appreciate it. And how about you?
It's
say
always nice to come. Thank you.
It is, absolutely.
Okay.
Say
With or
goodnight,
without
panel.
wands.
Say goodnight, panel.
Good night.
Good night, panel.
Hey, everybody. Don't
Good
accept
night,
any more than
everybody.
penguins.
By the